Morris on Luka Doncic last night. Morris coming over the top, fouling Luka hard. Morris ejected for hitting Luka in the head neck area. Luka talked about the play after the game. Take a listen to this.
I'm gonna say it's 2 games in a row we did something like that. And I really didn't. I hope so. The first game it wasn't on purpose, but looking back at the foul this game, you know what I think. So I don't want to deal with that kind of players. Just move on.
Now Morris took to Instagram after the game, responded to that with a "Cry Me a River." Clips in 6. Broussard back with us. What'd you make of Morris's foul and his ejection last night?
Look, I like Morris because he's a tough, hard-nosed player. You know that's one of my things I like about the Clippers. However, this ejection was justified. I thought it was a flagrant 2, which is what they called it, and he should have been gone. Look, Brandon's thinking of basketball in the 80s. And in the 80s, this wasn't even considered a hard foul, okay? But nowadays, in the kinder, gentler NBA, it was definitely a flagrant 2. The ejection was warranted. I like that my man Luka went after him. And I like that Luka went after him in the press conference post-game, too. Didn't back down. So, look, I don't think there should be a suspension going forward. I think it'd be overblown if they suspended Morris for game 1 of the next series. Yep. But this ejection was warranted. He had to go. And, of course, the Clippers were fine without him. Nick.
Oh, my goodness. Come on. I mean, you guys are just getting soft. This is fundamentals. I remember when I first picked up a basketball, I walked in a gymnasium in Orlando, Florida. Coach Cone pulled me to the side. He said, "Brandon, I know you can shoot the 3 ball. Brandon, I know you can dunk. But if you want to win championships, it starts with defense. And you have to own the paint. If someone walks in the paint, you have to foul them if it's a close game or if you're trying to set the tempo. And also, if they're going up, don't just foul them hard, because it makes no sense to foul a guy and they still get the and 1. So I don't understand why we are looking at this as a problem. This is the fundamentals. You have the OGs, the old heads in the 80s and 90s saying this is what basketball is. You can go back to the Bulls and the Pistons. You can go to the Bulls and the Magic. This is basketball, guys. This is basketball. Look at Michael Jordan. Did Michael Jordan complain?
That's great.
Did Michael Jordan complain?
The league, Brandon, the league's changed. And if we show clips of wide receivers going over the middle in the 80s, it looks a hell of a lot different than it does right now. Because the league has changed.
You just can't hit in the head, that's all.
Listen, we know, right. And by the way, you can't do that in basketball either. And Marcus Morris thumped him in the head. Listen, I don't have to be Thurgood Marshall to make this case. Game 1, Marcus Morris puts someone in a headlock. Who is it? Luka Doncic. Game 5, Marcus Morris runs 30 feet to step on somebody's ankle while the ball's out of bounds. Who is it? Luka Doncic. Which ankle? The injured one. Yeah. Game 6, Marcus Morris thumps somebody in the head. Who is it? Oh, it's Luka. Like, come on. This is hard. There is hard playoff fouls, and there is intentionally targeting the other team's best player with intent to injure because you can't guard him. And that's what Marcus Morris was doing from day 1 of the series. And his whole defense,
that's his job.
I respect the game.
That's his job.
I've never been this type of player. That was his defense in Game 5. His defense in Game 6 was, all right, you know what, jig's up. Cry me a river, clips in 6, bleep off. So at least he's no longer trying to patronizing me, Wilds, by acting like it's anything other than what it is. But I'll tell you where the Clippers are going to be upset.
You remember Wilds gave him a B+ on acting, remember?
Yeah, I do remember. He gave him the acting. But Wilds, I'll tell you where the Clippers are going to be upset. If Broussard is right and they make the conference finals, if their season goes that long, he's going to miss a game. There is no way he can go the entirety of the next 2 rounds and not get 2 more flagrant foul points. It's not possible. Not the way he's playing. So he's 4 points and you're suspended. He got 2 for that. He should have gotten 1, Wilds, for stepping on Luka's ankle. The league did him a favor, and then he thumps him on the head. So Wilds, like, this is going to end in a suspension for him. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think that's a solid prediction. I could see a Draymond scenario. I wonder if the other teams will try to antagonize Marcus Morris now to get him into the flagrant foul situation.
Yeah, is it a Marcus Morris thing or a Luka thing?
Yeah, well, it's more. I think Marcus Morris will have a new assignment for the next round, whoever they're going to play. The only thing I'll push back on you, Nick, is this. I don't think he's trying to injure them, and I know it's like we're playing with semantics. I think he's trying to hurt him.
The ankle was trying to injure him.
When he fought back, he's like, I don't try to injure players. I do think he tried to hurt someone, but it doesn't work. Like, Luka responded. I think we learned that, like, you can't get into Luka's head if you're a player and you hit him hard. However, and Broussard, I'm about to throw gasoline on the fire. Get ready. If you have a fire suit, you want to throw it on, I'll give you a second. Luka did something later on in the game, and I'm looking at this, and multiple announcers like, you know what? You can get thrown out for that. That's not a T. When he threw the ball back at the ref, when he had an offensive foul, that is more than a simple T. And the refs want to protect Luka. I know they're like, maybe not here. If we can run that other video, Katana.
There it is.
And this is in slow motion.
That's it.
That's it. If you play that regular speed, you cannot do that. Scottie Pippen got thrown out for a game. I think Chauncey said he got thrown out for a game in this. You got to get tossed for that, Broussard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I disagree.
He's right, Broussard.
First of all, I don't think they're protecting Luka because Luka, they played very physical with Luka the entire series. And there were several times where I thought he got fouled and they didn't call it. So I don't think they're protecting him. Two, I think what he did was there's just enough, like he didn't just haul off and throw the ball at the referee. It was just enough question in there where, yeah, it's definitely a technical, but let's leave it at that. I don't think it's an ejection. Well, I don't think so. I really don't.
And Luka,
there was
listen,
just enough
Luka, and I think part of this is because he's been playing pro ball since he was 16. He has taken advantage of the fact that post Chris Stapp's game 1 ejection, the last thing the refs want to do is throw him out of the game. So he's gotten attacked in nearly every single one of these games, and he's been yelling at everyone and yelling at the refs. I thought he might get thrown out right there. But again, to me, that is a young player losing his head with no risk at anybody. Brandon, first 2 points quickly on what you said earlier. One is wildly impressive that by the first time you could pick up a basketball, you were already dunking. That probably speaks to why you're one of the greatest athletes in America right now. Second point is the idea that this is all Marcus Morris is there for should be, Brandon, insult to Marcus Morris. He shot 40% from 3 with the Knicks. He's supposed to be a quality rotation player, not a hockey goon. But in this series, because he couldn't guard Luka, Brandon, he turned himself into a hockey goon.
Too much gray, guys. I mean, you guys just really made my point. You talked about, oh, well, you know, he should be thrown out. He should have been hit with a T, a flagrant. You know, this is not good basketball. And then we see Luka do this, throw the ball at the refs, and y'all literally say Chauncey was thrown out. Pippen was thrown out. Well, I mean, what's right? What's wrong here? I mean, this guy throws the ball, and then there's like, oh, he didn't throw it hard enough, or he hit his foot, or he hit his shoelace. Look, guys, the precedent has been set. If you throw the ball at a ref, you should be ejected. The precedent was set in the 80s and the 90s that when a guy hits the paint, you play hard. So Morris, yes, was it intentional? There's no rules to playing hard basketball. The rule is he knew he was going to get a foul. He knew he was going to get a foul. It is a different game, but he knew he was going to get a foul. But do you foul him hard or do you foul him soft so he can go for the and get the and one? No, come on, guys. Like the precedent was set.
This was not a guy going up for a layup that you wrap up. Go ahead, Broussard.
Okay. All right. Listen, Marcus Morris and the Clippers are moving on. The Lakers are moving on. Those guys are soft. Lots of things are happening. Which team, Lakers or Clippers?